Shabbos, a good Rosh Chodesh. This year is being given specifically in Mitzvah Hashem to learn before Shavuot. It's about Shavuot. And we're going to start off with a Zohar. It's called Saba de Mishpatim. The Pasuk Mishpatim. Daf Tzadik Tes, Amud Aleph. And it's talking about Rav Chia, Rav Yossi, who met Lifnei Asaba, and he told them the following: Kama b'nei olma b'irbua b'sachluchon delohayim. Says, how many human beings, how many people are mixed up with their seichel and their das, ve'enim roim b'derech emes b'Torah, and they don't see the derech emes in Torah. It's a very unbelievable Zohar, and very deep, but it's also very beautiful. V'ha-Torah koires aleihem v'chol yom b'nehima. And every day the Torah calls out to all of us with love, in a whisper. And so many of us are not willing to turn our heads to listen to her words. And even though that the derech of the Torah, that's what he says, very beautiful. He says that misgalit zas, it covers itself a little bit. It uncovers itself a little bit. And immediately it covers itself. It sort of plays like a hide and seek, the Torah. This is what he's telling them. So he says, Kachu bevadai, this is the way it is for sure. Avo, he says, but you should know, this manchamas gala, in the time that it reveals itself, benifta miyad, and then hides itself, Eino oisa davazeh, it doesn't, the Torah doesn't do this, elo le'elu sheyodim ba, only to the ones who know her. Umakirin oisa, and recognize her. What does that mean? What's the line? The Zohar says, Shehei regilin b'limud haTorah hakadosha. The Torah reveals itself only to people who constantly, on a regular basis, learn the Torah Kedosha. And he says, it's very unusual that the Zohar says a marshal. Well, it's not so unusual. But the Saba Kadisha said this to Rabbi and Rabbi Yossi. Probably the most loving mashal you'll ever hear in your life. And he says the following: I want to make a parable, says the Zohar, a comparison. La'ahuva shehi yafas mara v'yafas Torah, to someone who's loved, who's very, very beautiful. The Torah Kedosha, and this is the Torah. Hanikras elas ahuvim v'yalas chen. Now this beautiful Torah, he's really comparing it to a woman, right? V'hi mistateres b'seiser toicha heichel shalom. It hides, because these are very, very deep secrets. The Torah hides in its chamber, in its heichel, in its chamber. V'yeshla oyhav yichidi, and it has. I'm translating the Zohar into English, okay? It has one lover. One lover. That all the other people, they don't know about him. Who is this lover of this beautiful Torah? Who? Talmud Chacham. This is the Talmud Chacham. Haloymei b'toich avas HaTorah, who sits and learns because of his love of Torah. Elohu behester, but he's also hidden. This one who is her lover, that is the Talmud Chacham, because he loves the Torah so much, just like a prince sort of loving a princess. She's locked in this chamber, in this palace, and he wants to see her. So he's continuously walking by the palace. V'zoikev einav l'chol tzad, says the Zohar. And he puts his eyes to all the different sides. He's looking for her. He, Yodas. She knows this. The Torah knows this. Ki oyev shalom v'savet tamed ashar beisa. That her lover is continuously going around her house. Mahi oisa. What does the Torah do? What does she do? He pesachas pesach katan beheichel. She opens a small door in this chamber, in this palace. She mistaveres atmasham, where she's hidden. Umagala es paneha. She reveals her face. Elahuva, to the one that she loves, to the Talmid Chacham. Umiyad, and right away, chazeres umaskis. She goes back in and she covers up. All the other people that are walking past this palace, past this room, with the lover, with the Talmid Chacham, all the regular people who are not learning Torah, they're working, they're busy with their cell phones, they're busy. All those other people, they also walk by the palace. They don't see her, and they don't recognize her. Only this lover, this tzaddik, this Talmid Chacham, who every day learns Torah, he does see her. And his stomach, and his heart, and his soul are following her. And he knows that because of his love for her, that she will reveal herself for a moment, in order to make his love greater. So he explains, who is this? The Torah is this young, beautiful girl, and she doesn't reveal herself only to those who are looking for her. If you want to learn Torah, and you're looking to learn Torah, then you're going to see secrets that all the other people do not see. She will reveal herself to you. And then she will withdraw. And then you have to go look again. And she will reveal herself. It's called Amelus Torah. It's called learning. And we know the more you learn, the more understanding you have of things that you would never understand before. He says, Kachu Inyan HaTorah She'enam Isgalas Elo Lo Ehava. The same thing as the Torah, it doesn't reveal itself only to the ones who love her. The Torah knows that the smart man is continuously circling her all day long, her gates of the house. Ma osa ha-Torah, says the Zohar. What does the Torah do? Megala es paneha elov mitoch chechala. The Torah reveals her face to him from inside her chamber. And she gives him a sign, like, come here. She gives him a sign. And after she gives him the sign to come, she immediately hides herself. All the other people in the world that are just busy, they didn't see her, even though he did. And his stomach and his heart and his soul follow her. And then the Torah reveals itself again and it covers itself. And it comes with love to its lover, to bring the person, the Talmid Chacham, to love more learning. You see this in the Gedalim, my Sheshiva, Shmuel Bernal, his love for Torah with mamish, a love that his heart and his soul and everything was Torah. He didn't understand how somebody could not be connected to Torah. He never left Seder early. He was a masvik. And anybody who... I showed this to one of my classes a few years ago. So I was giving a shiur on music. And a lot of girls felt that music does not have such a crazy effect on us. So I went and I bought one of these magazines that have all the rap stars in it, and I cut out the pictures, and then I took the pictures of Gedolim, and I brought it to school, and I showed them, and all the rappers were in this like hatred with the gold teeth, with the real mean look, and each guy was trying to look meaner than the next, and it felt cold when you looked at these pages. It felt anger, you felt revenge, you felt scared, like terrorists. And then you take out a picture of Palm, and a picture of Aaron Kotler, and a picture of Moshe Feinstein, and you just look at their face, and it's just a face with a light and a love and a beauty, and that comes from being connected, as Zecharia says, comes from being connected to this Torah, who plays a game with us. He does. One day you could have such understanding, and the next day you can't get through a thesis. I don't understand it. You can learn it over 30 times. It plays. It teases us. But the Talmid Chacham knows. The Talmid Chacham sees her and sees the ins and the outs and the ins and the outs. While everybody else is like, okay, it's another page of Gemara. I get a test. I have to study for it. I have to memorize it. Have a good day. The Zecharia is saying, this is not what's going on over here. This is a whole game. This is a whole, to see how much you love her and to see how much you follow her to a point, which I always talk about. I'm sick. I'm sick in love with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's a beautiful Zecharia. It's a beautiful mashal. The way he brings it down over here. He says, come and look. This is the way of the Torah. But Chila, in the beginning, when you begin to start learning, he remembers like a remez. She gives him a sign. It's a remez. If you understand the Gemara, if you understand the Torah that you're learning, if you understand the remez that you're learning, so that's very good. Listen carefully, it's beautiful. Well, let's say the guy comes and he's looking for the princess, and he's circling, and he's trying to learn, and it's not working. And she's giving him some ideas in Torah. He's not chapping. He's not having the Tosfos. He doesn't understand the Rashi. But he's looking for the princess. He's here. He's in yeshiva. He's got his sefer open. He wants to learn. Right? Says the Zecharia, but what happens if he doesn't understand the hand signal that the Torah is saying, come here, right? So, says Neirudik, let's say the person himself doesn't understand what he's learning. Shalchos Elav, the Torah sends to that person the Torah will send him, this princess, this queen, will send him someone to learn the Torah, to help him to understand that the Torah wants him to come, to the sign that the Torah gave. There will be someone who will give a shear, who will be ma'ira, who will wake up that heart that's struggling to find the Torah. And the Torah will say, one second, right? And the Torah will say to the Chachamim that the Torah is sending to this boy or this person who's trying to learn and he just doesn't understand the Tosfos, right? The message, he says, the message Chachamim that you should give this boy who's struggling with his learning, don't throw him out of school. Don't give him a 60. That's not Torah. Torah is not marking a test in Gemara. This is a Zecharia. What does this beautiful princess who's hidden in this beautiful palace tell its messengers that it sends, the Chachamim, to this guy who's struggling with his Rashi? She says, that the Torah says to his Chachamim that send it to him, tell him that he should come closer, learn a little more, come closer, and the Torah says, I'll talk to him. Yeah? Torah says, I'll talk to him. He's learning and he's not getting it. He's a little bit giving up hope over here. Chachamim, Rabbi, what are you supposed to tell the kid who's not learning? He doesn't understand. What are you supposed to tell him? You know, good, you're stupid. You don't know how to learn. Why are you getting 50s? What are you doing in my yeshiva? That's not what the Zecharia says. The Zecharia says that the Torah is sending us, the Rabbi and the Tzaddikim and the Talmidei Chachamim, tell him if he comes a little closer to me, I'll talk to him. That's what the Torah tells the Chachamim. Tell him to try a little harder. Learn the Gemara one more time. Give it another shot. Ladavi Imo, I'll talk to him. Shahat Torah Oimeres Livnei Adam. That the Torah tells all the people. Mi Pesi Yoser Heinel Chas Alei. Those who don't understand, come closer to me and I will explain it to you. Now, so we come close to the Torah and we want to learn, we want to grow. This is what tonight's Rosh Chodesh, this is Shavuot, this is Matan Torah. So what happens? So when this person gets close to her, she begins to talk to him from behind the curtain. What does that mean, from behind the curtain? So he explains, that the Torah comes to explain to each person on their level of seichel, of understanding. Words according to his way, according to his understanding. Until the person begins to understand little by little. And these are things that are not exactly the pshat, they're droshes that are a little bit like above the pshat. And he says, for sure, that each person will understand the real pshat in what he's learning. He says, and there's a very big secret, the Tikkun Zara. Okay, we're not going to learn the Tikkun Zara. Now, okay, so now the Torah is talking to me from behind this curtain, but I don't have full understanding. I just understand Pasha Pshat. Then the Torah begins to speak to him from a curtain that's very thin, so you're closer to the Torah. He says that's the stories in the Gemara, the stories of things which are also very hard. We have the Marsha to help us with it, but it's but it's very hard. And the person who continues to learn and is always next to her. In other words, he makes a seder. That's why it says, every single day he comes to see the Torah, he comes to see the beautiful princess that's in the chamber. What happens? What's his reward? He says, when he's always next to her regularly, in the skalets, all upon him. Then she will reveal herself face to face. And then, if you continue, then she teaches us. Then we learn all the different seidos, all the secrets that are sealed up. And he says that the things that are sealed were from the Mimei HaKamoinin. This was in the beginning of the limit of Adam B'Torah. When a child just learns the letters in the alphabet, he says. So it's very interesting what he says. He says so. When you're learning the alphabet, you're learning basic alphabets, but those letters later on in the Torah, there's so many drushes from the aleph and the beis and the extra hay and above always connects and above, and the vayihi, the word vayihi is always before something like that happened, and all these letters that when you're first, so the letter that when you're in the alphabet is just an aleph and a beis, later on becomes a whole drusha. He says. So at the beginning it's just an aleph, but as the person learns, the Torah gets closer and closer and closer and begins to teach him all the secrets of all the letters. And the Torah says, you see the things I showed you in the beginning, now I'm showing you all the secrets. And it goes from one level to another level until finally he says, Al-Kain, and therefore, B'nei Adam, human beings, you have to be very careful. And you need to run after the Torah, to be one of its lovers, and then you will be given all these secrets. And then he goes into, right after this, which we're not going to learn tonight, the whole Sefer Gugulim is based on the Saba de Mishpatim, the Saba that came, and there's just one thing I want to tell you that's unbelievable. The Zecharia says the following, it's scary. He says, Neshamas are judged until they come into this world. That the neshama is judged until it goes into the tipa of the father, right, before the child is formed, and a malach comes, Hamamuna al Herayin, whose job is on pregnancy. Noikel is a tipa, was a zayah. He takes the drop, and he brings that drop from the father in front of God. And he says before them, the malach says to Hashem, Rabbi Shalayla, tipa zeh, this drop, matehei aleha, what is it going to become? Gibor, strong person, or cholash, a weak person, chacham or tipesh, or shirani, rich or poor. Let's say this was already in the world and it wasn't matzliach. So depending what it did last time, that's what the Zecharia is going to be. Okay. And what he says is that the drop swears to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he's going to keep the Torah and that he's going to keep the mitzvahs, and only because he swears that do they let him come into this world. And later on, when he comes back, they ask him, did you keep that shvuah that you took before you came into this world? That talks about Kafakela and a lot about all the stuff that we're not going to get into. It's interesting. He talks a lot about, he talks in Mishpatim, he talks a lot about Yibum, and he talks about the whole thing of Yibum and the Neshama of the Father and all that, and it's very connected to Megillas Rus, because Megillas Rus, the whole Megillas Rus is based on Yibum. Okay, so that's when you're up Shavuot night and you're learning, you need to know that the princess is opening the door and closing the door and opening the door and closing the door. And if you spend the whole night with the princess, with the Torah, learning Torah, that it's a very big inyan. I don't have the Kaviyasha with me, but the Kaviyasha says that how you learn on Shavuot night is how you're going to learn the whole year. So if you're up and you're learning and you're chapping and it's going to be a good year of learning. If you're sleeping, it's not such a good sign. Altogether, he says you shouldn't sleep. Shavuot night, if you're up and you don't sleep 1 second, you're guaranteed to live out the year. That's what it says. That's what he says in the Kaviyasha. It's brought down in many different places. If you don't sleep 1 second Shavuot night, you don't close your eyes for 1 second, you don't go to sleep. Actually, I think maybe 60 seconds or whatever. You don't go to sleep Shavuot night, you're guaranteed to live out the year. It's a very big night. It's the night of the wedding. We have a ksuva from Hashem, which is very interesting. That's brought down. But it's the night of the wedding. It's the night of the wedding of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael. It's a very big night. So you can imagine that the princess, the Torah from the Zohar, is in her full glory. So a person who looks for her on Shavuot night and finds her, the whole year he's going to have mamash hatzlach in his learning. But we see from here that she gets closer to the ones who spend more time with her. Nothing to talk about. I told you the story that I heard about Rosh Shmuel Birnbaum, my Rosh Yeshiva, just to give you an idea of what it really means to learn. I heard the story after he passed away, that there was somebody in Meir Yeshiva that was in Kailo for a very long time, and his wife was very sick, and he had a bunch of kids, and Rosh Yeshiva knew him for 20, 30 years, and his wife had cancer, and she was in stage 4. And he went to Rosh Yeshiva and he said to Rosh Shmuel, I need you to daven for me. I'm a Kailo guy. I've never left Yeshiva. I was with Rosh Yeshiva my whole life. I have a bunch of little kindlech. And they told me my wife she has 90 days to live. The Rosh Yeshiva has to help me. So Yeshiva said to him, I'm not a malach, I'm not a rebbe, and I'm not a makobel. I learned Torah. What do you want from me? I don't do this. I'm not, Go get a bracha from a rebbe, or makobel, whatever. I'm a Rosh Yeshiva. The guy didn't leave him alone. He said, you're my Rosh Yeshiva, and I'm learning this Yeshiva all my life. You have to give me, I don't want a bracha, I want to have tacha, and she's going to have a refuah shalema. Rosh Yeshiva said, I'll try. So what happened was, like a week later, there was some kind of trial in Europe, like one of these drug trials that they didn't allow in America, and she was picked as one of the 50 women or whatever that had this cancer. To make a long story short, this new drug worked for her, it worked for certain people in this drug test, and the Maisa, it went away. She was cured. It went into, it stopped. And it was a miracle. Mamash Nes Nifla. And the guy knew who he went to daven. It's the truth. It's a maybe ridiculous story. And you know what you could say about Rosh Burma? If you knew him, you understood this. So he came to the Rosh Yeshiva and he said, what did you do? I know this is a Nes Nifla. She was stage 4. And then she went, and this worked, and it didn't work for everyone, it worked for her. So Hashem wanted to make it look like Teva. Well, the Maisa, what did the Rosh Yeshiva do? She said, He said, no, you have to tell me what you did. So he pushed him. She said, I'll tell you. I opened my Gemara, and I said to Abai and Rava, listen, I talk to you all the time. We talk all the time. I never asked you to do anything for me. I have this boy, this man, and Kyle and his wife is sick, and maybe Abai and Rabbi can go to the Kisei Kavod and beg from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he should make a miracle that she should be healed. You hear what he said? I talk to them every day! You hear what it means to learn? Rabbi Akiva, not Rabbi Akiva said. Rabbi Akiva said to me. Shmuel asked the kasha. Shmuel asked me a kasha. Abai is arguing on Rava. There's Abai, here's Rava. They're arguing with each other. They're here at my table. When he learned Torah, they were alive. Okay, so I never asked them. I talk to them every day. So I never asked them. I asked them to do me a favor. I never asked them all these years for nothing. Abai and Rava talk to each other all the time. This is the secret. I'm sure he learned the Zohar. This is the secret that the Zohar is telling you here. That the Torah, she's real, and only for the people who are looking. She only shows herself. It's Meiride. She only shows herself for the people who are looking for her. But the people who are looking for her, once they look, the curtain gets put away, and she talks to them. So a person who learns Torah all the time, while you're learning, you could say to her, by the way, this person's sick. Since we're talking already, you're the matana, you're the most precious thing Hashem had. He created it. It's called his toy, whatever. It's Yeshua, whatever. The whole Kabbalah on the Torah was created way before the world. So maybe the Torah, since we talk to each other every day, and we're so close, maybe you could tell Hashem maybe Mashiach or something. No, I'm just giving you. You could, and it says Taka that. Give me a sitter from the back. Oh, here you got it. Okay, fine, good. Shkaya. Listen to this. Mishnah in Pirkei Avos. I say this all the time when I give a shir. I don't say it here. I've been saying it a long time. It talks in Mishnah in Perek. I think it's Gimel. Listen to this. You got to jump up and down. A person. Okay, Mishnah Zion, Perek Gimel, right? So Rabbi Chalat Medaisa said that Sarah 10 people are learning Torah. Shechina Shvei B'neihem. So 5 people that are learning Torah, right? Is also 3 people are learning Torah. Minayim afilu shnayim. Minayim afilu echad. How do you know that even one person is learning Torah, right? That the Shechina is there. So listen to what he quotes. Because it says in the pasuk in Shmos Perek Chav pasuk Chav Aleph. But really, that's where it says it. Interesting. In any place that you mention my name, I will come to you and I will bless you. You hear what Hashem says? You're learning by yourself, and you're learning the Torah. Hashem says, any place that you mention my name, I will come to you and I will bless you. We go to Kuvalim and all over the place to get a bracha, and the Mishnah says, like, okay, well, the Makubal is very nice and he gives you bracha, but he's got to be connected to Kosh Baruch Hu, right? So it's like third person. Here, the Mishnah tells you, you want a bracha? You can get a bracha from God. Sit and learn. And I'm listening to my own Zecharia here right now, by the way. You want a bracha from Hashem? There's a pasuk that says, just talk about me. Learn Torah. I will come there and I will bless you. And when I give a shir, I tell people, while giving the shir, tell Hashem what you need. Because surely if one person's learning, Hashem says, I'm going to give you a bracha. Surely when a bunch of people are learning, He'll give you a bracha. This is what the Zohar is telling us in a very secret way. That if you have this relationship like our Shmuel or Shalom had, that your mamash, when you're learning the Torah, it's life. It's not a subject. We're killing our kids in school. The Zohar doesn't fit. What do you mean she's hiding? Can't hide. How can you get 105 like this? I'm going to wait till you hide the curtain, till you sneak, open the door, close the door. I got to get 105. I got to be mandatory. Hello? It's a process. It's dating. You're dating the Torah. It's like, I'm learning. Come on, help me out. I can't get this Torah. There's so many stories of Gedolim that couldn't get something in their learning, and they would fast. They would fast that they should be able to understand the Torah, so they understand what they were learning. I have a story now. It's time. I don't have it here. Crazy story where the Tana came to tell him the answer because he fasted and he davened and mamash. He was in pain that he didn't understand. He just kept learning, and the Torah kept skiddying away. He couldn't get the answer until he found mamash. The Tana came who had the answer, came to tell him. The Tana came in his dream to tell him, you want it so much, I'll tell you the Torah, whatever it is. And there's no question, the more you learn and the closer you get, the more you get into your Torah, the more you want, the more you understand. It's exactly what the Zohar is saying. So if you want a bracha, sit down and learn. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you don't have to come to me for the bracha. Right? Avoi eilecha, I will come to you. Uveirachticha, and I will bless you. It's such an easy thing. We do such tough stuff and so much stuff, and it's right in front of you. Just learn. Learn Torah, you can talk to Hashem. If you have that relationship. But it's so sad because the Zohar says that so many people don't see the princess. Walk by the house. They're not looking for her. He said, they're not looking for her. You're not looking for the Torah. You're not going to get it. Let's go. This week is Perek Shishi in Pirkei Avos. I daven that I should say what you need to hear, not what I need to say, right? So I totally was not going to do this. But we should do this because we're talking about the Torah. And we're talking about Matan Torah. Perek Vav, it's this week. Right? Mishnah Aleph, Pirkei Avos. Perek Shishi. Listen to this. Rabbi Meir Eimer. Kol Oisik B'Torah L'Shma. Not to get a good mark on your test, but you're learning Torah because you want to meet the princess who keeps closing that door. Right? Kol Oisik B'Torah, and keeps, of course, opening the door. Kol Oisik B'Torah L'Shma. Anyone who learns Torah L'Shma is going to be Zeicha to many things. What kind of things, Rabbi? Below, not only that, a person who learns Torah, the whole creation of the world was worth it just for him. Wow! It's huge. The whole world was created for the guy who learns Torah. That's very cool to be able to walk outside and say, this whole world is mine. Created for me. The sun, the moon, the rain, the flowers, the fruit, the vegetables, everything. Kedai, the whole world, it's all 6 days plus Shabbos. Kedai Hulai. Now, what is this person called? This is all based on what we just learned. Nikra, what is he called? Re'ai. Hashem says. He's my friend. Want to be Hashem's friend? How are you Hashem? How do you become Hashem's friend? Did you lend the money, play football with him, buy him presents? No. Kol oisik b'Torah nikra re'ai. Achuv. You become loved, his lover. If you learn Torah, it's all based on this Zohar. If you learn Torah, you're going to love Hashem. You're going to love human beings. You're going to make Hashem happy. Don't think by learning Torah you're going to make people miserable. You're going to make people happy. And it will clothe you with anava. It will make you modest. V'yira, and it will give you the fear of God. And you're going to become a tzaddik and a chassid and a yashar, a person who's straight and neman and a trustworthy person, and a person who learns Torah. It will take him away from sin, and it will bring him to schusim. And from that person, the world will get advice, saving, bina, wisdom, uvura, and strength. Like it says, li eitzer tishia ni bina li gvura. Uno yisenes loy malchus. Just tonight, right? We're in the malchus. And he'll get malchus, umem shola, and countries, v'chikar hadid, umegale lai, rodi atayim. What we just learned in the Zohar. And they will reveal to him the secrets of the Torah. Benaseh kemayin hamizgabe, it will become like a what's a mayin? A well that's continuously given. And a river that never ends. And it will become a tsnua, ruach, and a huge ruach. It will become great, it will make him great, and it will elevate him above all of God's creations. Every single day, a baskel comes out and it screams and it yells, Oy lehem labriyos, Oy vei to my creations, the people who don't learn Torah, the people who make fun of Torah, the people who make fun of people who are learning Torah. Shekol mi she'eno oisik b'Torah and nikra nazov. Wow. Anyone who's is not learning Torah is called a nazov, because it says nezem zov v'av chazir. A golden ring in the nose of a chazir. Isha yafa, the saras come, a beautiful woman who's miserable. The luchos that we're given, it's coming out Shavuot, is the Ma'aseh of Hashem, and he wrote the letters on the luchos, who choros al luchos, he engraved on the luchos. Says the Mishnah al tikra choros, and this is so true. Don't call it engraved, but call it freedom. She'ein lecha, and this is so true, and people don't realize this. She'ein lecha ben chayr elami sho'etzik v'talmud Torah. A free person is a person who learns Torah. V'chol mi sho'etzik v'talmud Torah ha'v'zem v's'aleh. He says, people think, I have to learn. I have a ball and chain on me. Just the opposite. A person who learns Torah, he's free. If you ever walk into a Beis Medrash, you walk into Mir Yeshiva's Beis Medrash tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and you're going to see an unbelievable scene that everyone's yelling at each other, screaming at the top of their lungs. You're like, why don't these guys get along? Right? But if you go closely and you're listening to what they're yelling, they're yelling at each other Torah, and they're so happy, and they're so animated. What are you talking about? What are you yelling? And slapping each other on the back, and like, now you understand the places, and you see, it's amazing. I thought it was something. It's life. It's mamish life. The problem, we get out of yeshiva, we get married. We go to shira, but we don't have that. We don't have that chayrus. It's like, daf yomi, 1 hour, coffee. We have like 2 coffees, right? And when is he going to finish already? And God forbid that guy finishes 5 minutes after the hour. Everybody's like chomping on, what's going on here? It's an hour or 50 minutes. There's no fight. There's question. Nobody asks any questions. It's just, I'm not saying it's not good. It's something, but the chayrus is that fight that comes from chasing the Torah. That comes from when you don't understand it. right? You're learning something, you don't understand it. It's sort of, I don't want to belittle the Zohar, so I have to be careful how I explain this in a mashal, but it's sort of this prince who's fighting for this princess. And the door opens, and he sees this beautiful princess, and then all of a sudden the door's closed, he's like screaming, come on, open that door again! Right? That's a fight. And I, open the door, what do you mean? I'm standing here for 40 days and keep walking around looking for you, and you just open it up for 10 seconds? Open the door, let's get married! And all of a sudden she opens the door. And there she is. And that's the machlokes when you're fighting on a Dvar Torah. And you're like, I don't understand what you're saying. I remember when I was young, my chavrush, I would scream at him, what are you, crazy? All the adjectives I knew that I could say in the base medrash. You are so fucked up, you're learning this so twisted, where did you buy your brains? We used to yell at each other. And then when we got it's like we're screaming, because we want her to come out of the door. We don't understand the Gemara. I don't understand what it's saying. Come out of the door. And then finally you get the pshat. She came out of the door. Geschmack. You walk out of there, you feel like, you don't have that. You don't have that. Unless you're in a base medrash, because when you're in a base medrash, you're pounding, and you keep going back, and you keep going back, and you keep circling, and I need to know pshat, in the morning I don't know the pshat, okay, tomorrow I'll figure it out. I can live without the pshat. We couldn't live without it. You couldn't move. You couldn't go anywhere without it. That's what the Zohar is saying over here. But it's not only Torah, it's the whole, it's working on getting close to Hashem, it's working on your ruchnius. Yeah, many times you fall, and many times that door shuts, and you're like, I had a glimpse, I had a move, I was changing, and I lost it. You got to keep walking around. You can't give up. It's like the elevator store. You got to keep walking around, and you get another glimpse, and another glimpse, and a little more growth, and a little more growth, and then it disappears, and you don't have growth for a little while, and then there's a little more growth, and then finally, the princess, the neshama, the Torah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, everything sees that this guy really loves me, and he keeps coming, and even though he keeps closing the door on him, he keeps coming back, and he keeps looking for me. I can't keep closing the door on him. I got to open the door. And that was Matan Torah. That was Matan Torah. Because Baruch Hu gave us his most precious thing that he had, and that's Shavuot. And that's why you have to be excited Shavuot night. You can't come Shavuot night. First of all, you have a big Yetzirah not to sleep Erev Shavuot. Number one. You try to sleep Erev Shavuot, everything that you can imagine will happen to make sure that you don't sleep Erev Shavuot. So that Shavuot night you're sitting there, you're like, do you have a watermelon? Some watermelon, some black coffee, and every 12 minutes you go outside to walk around to wake up. So you can't let him beat you. You have to wash your face. You got to get in there. You got to get a chavus. And you got to fight, because that's the energy, the Torah energy that you're going to have a whole year. Is that fight Shavuos night, and it's a fight. Zecharia knows that. Listen, whole Klal Yisrael is learning Torah. It's a crazy amount of Torah that night. So he's fighting. He's fighting for his life. He's like sleep, boring, you know. So you should say tikkun. You should say tikkun lev Shavuos. It's very powerful. It's very important. It takes 3 hours, 3.5 hours. It's a very important thing to say. There's a lot of secrets in it. Just the words and everything. Just to say it, even if you don't understand it all. It's a very beginning to say tikkun. The Kav HaYashar talks about it. Talks about it a lot. Okay. So I want to end tonight. I spoke last night by the dinner. But we're now at dinner. Whoever was there, I want to thank them very much for coming, and whoever sent in ads. Thank you very much. Very big chizik to us. We need a lot more help, but I'm sure it will come. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you know, the money's hiding behind the door. It shoulders a little bit, it doesn't show a little bit, etc. I keep circling, I keep trying. We're going to find that door. Somebody going to open that door and say, whatever you guys do in Ornava, I got your back. We're waiting for that to happen. Emet Hashem, someone will have the schus. It's not a simple schus because it's pure Gan Eden. Nothing to talk about. You help HaKadosh Baruch Hu's daughters. Anyway, so I said last night, just very interesting. I get a lot of questions on Kiruv, and I wish I could do what you do, but I'm not a Kiruv professional. There's no such thing as a Kiruv professional. I don't think Aaron, the biggest in Kiruv was Aaron HaKohen, Oyev Shalom, Roider Shalom, and he didn't have a school. I mean, he wasn't a professional. So I don't believe that. I believe anybody could be Makar, anybody at any time. But how do you do that? So I think that the biggest person we can learn from, one of the biggest people we can learn about Kiruv is Boaz in Rus. And I spoke about this a few years ago, but the next 15 minutes, I think this is just so important, it's so beautiful. How do you become the father and mother of Mashiach? Ruth became the grandmother of David HaMelech. Boaz became the great grandfather of David HaMelech, and from them comes Mashiach ben David. What do you got? What did they have? What ingredients did they have that gave them this Malchus? In the 49th day, Malchus Sheba Malchus, David HaMelech. David Melech Chavakam, he was born on Shavuot. The Malchus, Torah was given on Shavuot, David HaMelech. This is like the top of the top. How do you make a David HaMelech? How are you the parents of David HaMelech? What do you have that you created a person that went through such hard times in life, and when he walked up to Goliath, he said, I'm not scared of you. I got God. The whole client's was like, whoa, we can't stop this guy. He's like, I got God. If you look into Shmuel, you see how he talks to them. He's like, you're nothing. I'm not worried about you. Shut up. He's talking bad about Hashem. He said, don't you talk bad about my God. And he took him out and cut his head off. We know how he killed him and he cut his head off. Where did David HaMelech get this from? How do you create such a person? And then he writes Tehillim in the biggest pain of his life. He writes beautiful things to Hashem. So we have to look at the ingredients, where he came from. So I want to talk about Boaz first. So Boaz was the shefet of that door. Shefet is like the Rosh Hashiva, the Gadol Hador, the Melech, the Navi, like everybody wrapped up in one. He was in his, I think, 80s or 90s. He was very, very old. And he was the head man. He was where everybody went to for everything. And he was also a very rich man. Okay. Now you have to put this in your mind that this is who he is. Okay. So let's take a look at this man who is, you can put in your head whatever Rebbe you want or whatever Gadol you want. And he is now coming to his field to see what's going on. And this is very important. V'hinei Boaz Pasuk Daled. V'hinei Boaz ba mi Beis Lechem. Boaz came from Beis Lechem. V'yomer lekoytrim. And he was coming to a field that they were harvesting. So his workers, what were they doing? They were harvesting. So he says to his workers, what do I say when I walk into my office? All right, is all the paperwork ready? Everything done? Did you make the bank deposits? Why? I heard you were late here. I called at 9 o'clock. There was nobody here. Why were you late today? Right? Boaz comes to his field. He doesn't ask them what's going on, how's business, how many pounds of wheat do we have, or barley. No. He walks in, he says the following. Hashem imachem. God should be with you. Now, when you treat people that way, how do they treat you? They said back to their boss, God should bless you. So first of all, we have to look at someone here. We have to understand who Boaz is. His relationship with his workers was that the first second he walks into the field, before he says good morning, before he says anything, he gives him a bracha. In return, they give him a bracha. Anybody that's a teacher, or parent, or a boss, if you want the people that work for you, your child or your student, to love you and to give back what you're giving them, then you got to walk into class. I'm just as bad as anyone else. I'm like, okay, everybody sit up straight. Take your homework out. Why are you late? Put your food away. Tuck your shirt in. Right? Hang up your coat. But imagine you're walking from first grade on. The teacher walks in and says, good morning, children. God should be with you today. You'd be like, huh? But imagine those kids, after hearing this and realizing the teacher means it, would say, well, Mrs. Stevenson, God should be with you too. You should be blessed. Now, any class that starts like that, it's going to be a beautiful class. And any family that talks to each other like that is going to be a beautiful. And if you want your workers to work for you and not hate you, if you're going to walk into the work and you're going to say, good afternoon, everyone. God should be with you in anything that you do. First of all, half of them will get up and say, hallelujah. But besides them, they're going to say, and Mr. Wallerstein, God should be with you too. And then you have honest people. They're going to be honest people. They're going to work for you to go the extra mile. Because if your whole relationship is based on a blessing, then that's what they're going to give back to you. And if you're going to walk into class and be screaming and yelling and disciplining before you even say good morning, that's what you're going to get back. So the first lesson we learn from him is he walks in with a bracha. Okay. Now, he sees this young girl, and she's not like the other girls bending to pick up the wheat, but she's curtsying, which none of the other girls were doing. So he says, "Lemiyat na'ar." He says to his boy that's working the field, "Who's this girl? Who's this young girl?" Now this guy, you have to understand something what the Medrash says over here. They didn't accept Rus as a Jew. Rus was a Moaviyah. The Jews, as we hate Nazis today, that's how much the Jews hated Moab. Moab went to war with us. Moab sent down their girls to be Mazaneh with the Jewish men. 24,000, until Pinchas stopped it, 24,000 men died. We did not like Moab. And we definitely didn't like a girl from Moab, because the girls from Moab were the ones that were prostituting with the men from Klal Yisrael, who caused them to lose 24,000. So we did not like Moab. And Rus was the daughter of the king of Moab. So when she came down to the field to collect these bushels, this wheat, the guys that were working there said, you're not Jewish. You're not taking away the wheat of the Jewish girls. So they picked her up to throw her over the fence. Mm-hmm. Now, could you imagine? After 120 years, they went to Shemayim. They're like, "So you threw David HaMelech's grandmother over the fence? We have a little bit of a problem with that. Mashiach's great-great-grandmother, you tossed over the fence," because that's how they judge her. How do we know that happened? Because he tells his workers not to touch her. And they ask, these were yeshiva boys, these were good boys, why, I was just looking for the pasuk, why would they touch her? Right? And it says because they felt she didn't belong there, and they threw over the fence. Well, they wanted to throw over the fence. Hold on, I'll read a few inside. Alright, I don't know which pasuk it is exactly. I don't have it in front of me. But he says to them, don't touch her. There's a chain. We're talking about yeah. We're talking about let her gather between the full bushels. The low sachli muha. V'gam shol t'shalula min atzalim v'azaptem v'likta, leave her alone. The loy sigaraba, don't touch her. We have to tell these guys not to touch her. They weren't Sherman a year. Of course they were Sherman a year. So it says they wanted to throw her over the fence because they judged her as a lowlife, as a kiddush, as a girl walking around in Flatbush, not the way she should look. They made a judgment call. Meanwhile, this is the great-grandmother of David HaMelech. Right? Now let's look at how this guy answers, this boy answers. He says, oh, you want to know who she is? Well, young man, she's a lowlife. She's a girl from Moabiyah. And he adds to it, Hashavet in Naomi is staying Moab. She came back with Naomi, she was married to the Jewish guy who died, right? And you know where she came from? Rabbi! You know where she came from, Rabbi? She came from Moab! So he totally defaced her. Okay? So now Boaz is going to talk to this young girl, this rabbi, Rosh Hashiva, right? There's this young girl out and Rosh Hashiva is walking out on the street, and there's this young girl, and everybody's like, oh man, she's like a bad lowlife, bad family, bad person. So he walks over to her, and he says the most famous words. They want to know how to do kiruv. This is where kiruv started. This is unbelievable. He says, Halo Shamat BT. So what's going on? What do you hear? What's going on? My daughter. my daughter, they want to throw her over the fence because she's a Moaviyah, and Boaz, who's Rosh Hashiva, the Gadol, the Shayfei, is calling her his daughter. Now, don't think it didn't sound strange to her. It did. And she's going to ask him, why are you doing this, right? So he says, I don't want you to go in any other field. I only want you to stay in this field. We're going to take care of you. So she doesn't, she's hated by all the Jews. She's unaccepted. She's not accepted. She doesn't belong. So why is this rabbi being nice to me? What's the ulterior motive here? What's going on? Why is rabbi calling me his daughter? Vatipala paneha. She fell on her face. Vatishtachu arza, and she bowed down in front of him. Vatoma elav, and she said to him, Madua motzasichein beinecha. Why do I find favor in your eyes? Here comes the big word. Lahakireni. Why are you giving me recognition? Every person in this world needs recognition. And the biggest problem with kids at risk and the kids in the street is that we walk by them and we don't give them recognition. Oh my God, look at that kid. Oh my God, oh, look what she's doing. Oh my God, oh. He gave her recognition. He called her BT. She used this word for us. This is a word for us to this generation. She said, why do you like me? What does it mean to like me? What does it mean to like somebody? What does it mean to like someone? To give them recognition. She said, why are you giving me, why do you like me? Why are you giving me recognition? And she says, Rabbi, I'm not Jewish. Or, I'm a stranger. Because it's a big machlokes when she was Megayer. So like, Rabbi, why are you stopping in the middle of the street talking to me? My shirt's, her skirt was not short. But like, she was a Moaviyah. So she asked him a great question, like, what's up? What's going on over here? Why are you being so nice to me? Vayam Boaz answered. Vayom, and he said, Hugad li, it was told to me, Kol asher asis eschem osef achrei mot ishech. It was told to me what a wonderful person you are. That after your husband's died, you didn't let go of your mother-in-law. Vata'azvi avich ve'imech ve'eretz moladetech sounds like lech lecha me'atzcha moladecha me'beis avicha. That's what she did. You left your father, your mother, your land, and where you were born, you're an Avram. You're an Avram. You left everybody. Vatecha ama shalei dat mol shol, and you came to Klal Yisrael. You're not a Nachriya. You're not a Moaviyah. You're an Avram Avinu. Girl, you're an Avram Avinu. I'm not focusing on your name, how you're classified, kid at risk. I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on your pain. You gave up everything. Wow. First girl that I ever dealt with in Kirov was on a Tisha B'Av night. Or Nava was born on a Tisha B'Av night. Shiach born on a Tisha B'Av night. I was invited to speak at 12 o'clock midnight in a place called Judah's Place for kids who just came out of rehab. And I came to Judah's Place. I never spoke to kids like that in my life. I did Kirov with kids, very normal, regular kids from homes. But I never dealt with kids from homes who were doing drugs and stuff like that. So I came in that night, and there were 3 girls and 3 boys, whatever it was, on the couch, totally uninterested in hearing a shiur. But I was invited to speak to Shavuot night, so they sat on the couch. And it was very scary, because I had all my little stories, and these kids were not. They had tongue rings, and tattoos, and orange hair, and I'm like, it's Tisha B'Av, not Purim. Like, I didn't want to say that, because they would have thrown me out, but I'm thinking to myself, I think it's Purim in here, right? Then I said to myself, oh Hashem, it's really Tisha B'Av. If this is where we are right now in Klal Yisrael, your kindlech, this is what they look like, and drug rehab, and all this. It was mamish Tisha B'Av. Anyway, so this girl gets up in my face. She's 14 and a half years old, and she gets up in my face because she's like the gang leader, tough kid. She was a tough kid. And she's got her tongue rings, and her ears, her eyes are pierced, and her chin. And if I would have had a magnet, I would have never been able to get rid of her. She had more metal on her face. Forget about it. It would have been like the whole night, forget about it. So she gets up in my face, and she's like, "Blank you, Rabbi." I'm not going to use the words, of course. "Blank God, blank all you Jews, blank." And I'm like, holy cow. I never heard that word together with Rabbi, or together with God, or together with Jews, right? That word doesn't belong together. They sort of don't work together. They don't rhyme, right? She's cursing in my face. I'm like, home. And now, if I lose her, this is a confrontation. This is street. She wins, they all walk out, nobody listens to my share. I win, I got them a whole night. I'm like, God, oh my gosh, what is this? I didn't know what to say. So I looked at her, and Hashem puts the words in your mouth when you need them. I said, "What's your name?" She told me her name. I'm like, "You're amazing." "Blank that, man." I'm like, no, you're amazing. I said, "I want you to know you just saved me 2 hours." So now they're all very interested, what's up with this rabbi? Right? You can't be drinking, it's Tisha B'Av, right? She goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, I really came here to talk about God. Because I heard a bunch of you don't believe that He exists. But you just cursed Him. You just said blank God. That means you believe in Him, you just don't like Him. I'm like, you just cut 2 hours of my speech. I don't need to prove you God. You believe in Him, you just don't like Him. Wow, that's amazing. I said, you know how many kids out there don't believe that He exists? You're angry, you cursed Him. All right, we can deal with that. She didn't have the answer for that. She wasn't ready for that. She thought I was going to get up and walk out. And she's like, he's cool. Let's hear what he has to say. And they brought all their chairs around me. I was there till 4 o'clock that morning. On the way out, she walked me out. I was outside with them, and they were all leaving. And I looked at her and I said, you're very, very angry. And you know that hate is an emotion. And love is an emotion. And they're very close to each other. Very, very close. A woman can marry someone she loves, but man, when you divorce her, we watch what happens. Right? So love and hate are emotions. The kids that we can't work with, we call them the whatever kids. Right? So you want to talk about God? Whatever. You want to talk about Yiddishkeit? Whatever. You want to talk for Shavuot? Whatever. Are you an atheist? I don't know. Whatever. You want to eat some shrimp? Yeah, maybe. Whatever. It's like trying to stick a nail into Jell-O. You can't work with them. There's nothing. But the ones that hate, that have that crazy passion, all you need to do is, if you could take that hate and turn it into love, forget about it. So I said to her, I said, you have so much fire. You're so full of fire and hatred. If we could turn that fire into loving Hashem, you're going to be a Rebbitzin one day. I said, you have crazy potential. Those other kids, they're brain dead that were sitting there. They didn't care one way or the other. You cared. Every word I said, you fought with me. You agreed with me. You didn't agree with me. I said, you're going to be a Rebbitzin one day. You have a lot of potential. The next day, she called me. She said, Rabbi, I don't know you, but you're the first person in my life that ever said I had potential. Can I come to you for Shabbos? And this Lag BaOmer, for Shimon Bar Yochai, when I was walking up on Friday afternoon, when I just got there on my own, she was walking up with her 3 little children, her Chassidish husband, with a big turban, her hair totally covered till here. My girl. She's a Rebbitzin. That was Boaz's koyach. I gave her recognition that night. I stopped. I spoke to her. I said to her, you have potential. If you could turn this hate to love. Her love for Eretz Yisrael today and Hashem, forget about it. She's living on the West Bank with the settlers. Her love for Eretz Yisrael, she will never ever move out of Eretz Yisrael. She has no interest in coming to America. She took that fire and she used it correctly. That was Boaz's secret. Boaz's secret was, the boys were all, I hear what you're saying. She's a Moavia, she's a this, she's a that. Bottom line is, she's my daughter. If she's my daughter, I have to give her recognition. And once he gave her recognition, in the end he marries Rus and he has the grandfather of David HaMelech. Where did that come from? It came from a man who was in his 80s or 90s, right? who stopped and gave a young girl recognition. That's what he gave her. But listen to what she says. And why did he give it to her? Because he knew her struggle. Just the opposite. You didn't struggle, you don't need so much recognition. You struggled, you lost your husband, you left your parents, you left everything. You did. That's what he said. She said, why are you giving me recognition? Because I know you're suffering. The kids who are suffering, so we need to give them recognition, not judge them. So listen to what she says to him. After he says that, so she says to him, my master, I find favor in your eyes, because you have comforted me. How did he comfort her? Where did he comfort her? Where do you see him comforting her? So she says, you spoke to my heart. You didn't treat me like one of your maidservants. You gave me recognition and you spoke to my heart. So we learned 3 things in doing kiruv here that has nothing to do with being a professional. 1, if you're dealing with a girl, you have to treat her like she's your daughter. If you're dealing with a boy, you have to treat him like he's your son. Number 1. Number 2, you have to give them recognition. Number 3, she said to him, I see that you spoke to me. You spoke to my heart. You didn't speak to my mentality. You didn't speak to my brain. You spoke to my heart. And dvarim hayotzim halev nichnasim halev. One more thing that you need to learn from Boaz, and we'll conclude. The night that she was sent, which is unbelievable that Rus was willing to go, because the whole talk of Klal Yisrael was that Moabite girls are immoral lowlifes. And Naomi asked her to go in the middle of the night, get dressed up, right? She didn't listen to her, by the way. Very interesting. She told her, put on makeup, put on perfume, go in the middle of the night. Boaz is sleeping alone. Right? Sleeping alone in the granary. Go into his room while he's sleeping, uncover his feet, and lay there. Right? Now, she knew that if she gets caught in that granary in the middle of the night, or going to the granary, they're going to think she's a prostitute. What are you doing laying at Moshe Feinstein's feet? What, are you crazy? That your mind? You go to the door in his room? So she knew that was. She knew if they catch me, then all of Klal Yisrael is going to say, sure, what did you expect? She's a prostitute, she's a Moabiyah. This is who they are. Now she was a big snua. So she was willing to give up and take a chance that everything she stood for would be misinterpreted if she got caught. So if you look in the Megillas Ruach, her mother-in-law Naomi told her, put on makeup, put on perfume, right, get all dressed up, and then go to Boaz. It's not what she did. She didn't get dressed up at all. She went there without any makeup or anything, got to the granary, and then put it on. So that if she got caught walking there. Now, the whole reason, if we just understand who the mother of Mashiach is. Now, number 1, why was she being sent there to do what? To do Yibum. That's why she uncovered him. There wasn't really a halach of Yibum here. Because when the brothers, Matan and Kiliam, married these Goyim, they were Goyim. So there was no din of Yibum by a Goy. So actually, halachically, Naomi had no right to ask Ruth to do this. But if Ruth would marry Boaz and they would have children, it was sort of like Naomi's son having the children. Sort of like Yibum. Halachically, there was no Yibum. So Ruth was willing to take a chance that the whole reason that Boaz picked her out of the whole field was because she was a tznuah. Her whole basis was a tznuah because she came from Sarimeno, from that whole thing. I'm not going to get into it now. Her whole basis was a tznuah. So here you go, you tell the biggest tznuah, Beis Yaakov girl, I want you to go and put yourself in danger. If you get caught, everyone's going to say you're a low-life prostitute. And I want you to do that for me. But halachically, it's not really Yibum. But just do it for me, because if this happens, then if you get pregnant, you have a child, then that child is like, my son had a child. This was such a balas chesed. Such an unbelievable balas chesed that she was willing, the only man in Klal Yisrael that said biti, the only man that believed in me, the only man that gave me recognition, I am now taking the chance that he's going to think I'm a prostitute. I'll take that chance for my mother-in-law. So I always say, any daughter-in-law that's willing to do for mother-in-law, definitely Mashiach's coming from her, because it's definitely got to be Mashiach. It's like a great story. So she goes, and she takes this chance, and she comes to the granary, and it's pitch dark, and she uncovers his legs, right? And listen to the pasuk. And this is such godless. Listen to what happens. Vayihi b'chatzi halayla, and it was in the middle of the night. Vayecharat ha'ish vayilafes, and the man woke up, Boaz woke up, and he began to shake. V'hine isha shocheves magal leisav. There's a woman sleeping at my feet. And Rashi says that he was very, very scared. Why was he scared? Because he thought that it was a, what's it called? He thought it was a shindala, right? V'yechred ich kisaver shindalahu. He thought it was a shindala. Ubikesh lazai v'yachuda. Right. Anyway, so what did he do? He asked her. He didn't jump to conclusions. He asked her, "Who are you?" Instead of screaming, "Whoever you are, get out of my room! Are you crazy? Coming to my room in the middle of the night, dog! Get out of my room!" Then find out who she is. No. Yomer mi'at. Who are you? And then she said, "I am Rus." And then what did he say? Again he said, "Brucha atla Hashem biti." He said, what you just did, this chesed that you just did, that you were willing to give up everything for your mother-in-law, even though you weren't chayv yibum, this chesed to come to me is a greater chesed than what you did in the beginning when you stuck with Naomi. This is the biggest chesed, because when a person, it's one thing to do a chesed, but when I'm willing to give up who I am for someone else, that's the grandmother of Malchus, that's the grandmother of Mashiach. There's one more point that makes the grandfather of Mashiach, and this is what I'm ending with. A very important pasuk. And I need to learn a lot of Musar from this pasuk, because I do have a problem with this. And it says, so she comes back to her mother-in-law, and her mother-in-law says the following. Just stay here. Till we find out if Ploni Almoni is going to marry you, or he's going to marry you. We're going to see how this thing is going to come out. Now listen to what she says. Kilo yishkai hayish. This man, Boaz, will not rest ki in kila hadama hayom, until this situation is fixed today. He's not the kind of guy that's going to say, all right, we'll see, we'll check it out, we'll take care of it tomorrow. She said, the grandfather of David HaMelech, of Malchus, is a person that when they see a problem, they say, I will not rest until the problem is solved. Wow. She said, don't worry, Rus, I know this man. And it's mashma, if she knew this, everybody knew this. You give Boaz a problem, he doesn't rest until it's solved. Maybe if we all felt the same way, when we see someone struggling and someone suffering, if we felt the same way as Boaz, that I will not rest until the situation is taken care of, then maybe we'd be the parents of Mashiach. And maybe we would bring Mashiach a lot faster. That was his midah. His midah was, we got a situation, I don't rest until that situation is over. We have a situation in Klal Yisrael, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, don't rest until the situation is over. Bring Mashiach, and we should be Makabel Torah. It says in the Zayah that how Maria, that you can't be Makabel Torah without Eretz Yisrael. It's a very interesting Zayah. He says that Har Moriah came underneath Har Sinai. And then when we got to Torah, Har Sinai was on top of Har Moriah. And you know why the Zayah says that? He says, because you can't be Makabel Torah without Mesiras Nefesh. And Hara Moriah was where Akedas Yitzchak was. And therefore, you could not be makabel from Har Sinai, the Torah, unless Hara Moriah was underneath it. And he brings all kinds of rayas. Hara Moriah stood for Mesiras Nefesh. Mesiras Nefesh and Anava, the modesty of Har Sinai, those two together, that's what brings the Torah into this world. We will be zeichet to be kind of the Torah, and that the Torah should open up all the doors and all the windows, that we should see her in her beauty, and that we should all attend the marriage of the Torah, and we should see Mashiach. Amen.